time for Around the Ozarks in 5, brought to you by the Butterfly Palace. Have the best day ever at the Butterfly Palace. Springfield Greene County Park Board, reminding you to go play. Roto-Rooter Plumbing and Drain Service. Call Southwest Missouri's best plumber today for a free estimate. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Foreheads.
Hey, good morning to you on Friday. Hope your week has been great. Glad we're toward the end of it here, and I'm sure you are as well. So we're going to have a good weekend, but we're going to get started this morning with some news. And
I do feel like this is by far the biggest story. It's certainly the biggest talker. It might not be the biggest story in a lot of people's minds, but
Right.
Trader Joe's is not coming to Springfield, Missouri. It is breaking news in my book. I feel like it should be in yours because a lot of people thought that they were coming, but they're not. The news leader reached out to Trader Joe's asking about rumors that it was going to be coming to Springfield, and they were told, yes, we are. But the problem is there are lots of Springfields, and they are coming to a Springfield, but not our Springfield. As it turns out, they're moving to Virginia, not Missouri. Whoops. Anyway, so Trader Joe's saw the story, I guess, followed up with an email saying, oh, by the way, we mean Springfield, Virginia, not Missouri. But the news leader's story had already been shared everywhere. So even though they updated the story, it had already been shared. People had already gotten very excited for no good reason.
Yeah, I feel for the news leader here because they did their job. They called the spokesperson and or at least got an email from them. I think they got an email from them. And there's a little bit of back and forth between Trader Joe's saying that they didn't know that that the news leader was talking about Springfield, Missouri. The news leader says that we made it clear that we're in Missouri. And so I don't know. I mean, if a spokesperson tells you something, that's what you go on if you're a news organization.
Yeah.
So
I feel bad for them too, honestly. I feel like
it's unfortunate.
It was an honest mistake.
Well, and
but here's, you know what? I think honestly, there were so many people who got really excited about it that maybe it would make Trader Joe's actually consider moving here. It could work in the Ozarks' favor.
Right. I was going to say it's unfortunate for the news leader that it turned out to be such a story that people had an interest in and were hoping for. It'd be like I would have shared if it were White Castle coming. I would have shared that story. Trader Joe's, not so much. I've been to Trader Joe's. It's fine. I don't know. I'll be honest with you. And I don't know. Maybe the Trader Joe's people don't watch this podcast. I imagine they probably do. At any rate, I don't know that we could support it, to be honest.
I'm sure that they do. I'm sure they do.
I don't know that we can support it. We've had a couple of those natural marketplaces fail. Price Cutter very famously had a big one on what is that? Sunshine? Yeah. Sunshine. That failed. Ruby's. We had another one that also failed. Now there's a new one in that place on Glenstone, South Glenstone. But I don't know. I don't know if we could.
Trader Joe's would work if they would sit it right next door to either Sam's or Costco.
Well, that's expensive space, but Trader Joe's has money.
Yipper skipper.
Anyway. Okay, we'll see. It ain't
I
happening.
Felt like that was like the breaking news of the day. There you go. This is also a big deal. It is now official. Missouri State Senator Lincoln Huff from Springfield is running for lieutenant governor. The Republican had been considering it for the last several weeks. He was first elected to the Missouri House of Representatives in 2010. Then, you'll remember, became a Greene County commissioner, then won a seat in the Senate in 2018. And during his time in the legislature, he sponsored the largest tax cut in Missouri history.
Okay. Well, thank him for that. A bill in the Missouri legislature, meanwhile, could change the way that Missouri's constitution is amended. Right now, it can be changed if a majority of voters agree to it. This change would add to that a majority vote in 5 of the state's 8 congressional districts as well. So it'd be the vote of the people and 5 of 8 congressional districts saying yes. The bill has already passed the state Senate, heads over to the Missouri House now. And if the House approves it, then it goes to voters to decide on. So that could happen this fall, which would be a really big election. It's a presidential election. So there'd be huge turnout for that. And of course, we know this is really an epidemic. Many people have overdosed on drugs here in the Ozarks and really across the country, but we're talking about Missouri here, oftentimes on fentanyl. Now, lawmakers in Jefferson City are considering making tougher penalties on those who traffic fentanyl and lowering the amount that someone could have for it to be considered a felony offense. The law states that a person who, quote, distributes, delivers, manufactures, or produces more than 10 milligrams of fentanyl, end quote, has committed a first degree Class B felony under the new law. More than 20 milligrams would make it a Class A felony. New proposed bill would change the threshold from 10 milligrams to as little as 3 for it to be a felony, which 3 milligrams of that stuff could take out a lot of people.
Yeah, that's more than enough to kill someone. So,
a lot of people. Yeah.
yes.
There's a new study that finds 42% of adults, 42% of adults in America know at least one person who has died from a drug overdose.
Yeah,
That is incredibly sad.
it is. So we'll see. I'm sure that will happen. I bet that it happens.
Yeah, I mean, well, why not is my question. Why not? What are
Yeah.
people doing with fentanyl?
All right, now to this. Many of us remember our very broke college days where you lived on ramen noodles. I mean, it was a thing. It was a real thing. I did, and it was tasty. A new study, though, says more students right now, college students, are falling into food insecurity. 45% of college kids reporting they have experienced it. Missouri State says, yep, they have a food pantry. They are working to keep up with demand. The numbers are pretty astounding. They opened in 2019 with helping 500 times on campus. Last year, the food pantry at MSU was used 8,900 times. And so far this year, they're at 4,200 times. That's pretty wild. Because think about that. We're only in February.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It'd be interesting to know if there are any financial checks, or can anybody just go in there and get food? You know,
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't either. Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at a restaurant all 4 years of college, so I got to eat their food quite regularly.
Well, and you were on a meal plan at the school.
Yeah, I was on a meal plan at the school also, but I don't know. Waitressing was a good college job for me. All right. You know that it is tax season, unfortunately. And if you need help with that, the IRS says they are here to help you. So tomorrow, Saturday, you can head over to the Taxpayer Assistance Center on Claremont Avenue here in Springfield from 9 to 4. No appointment necessary. You should know this. IRS workers there cannot file your tax return for you. They can answer your questions. So take with you all your paperwork and your ID.
Okay. That reminds me, it's time to do our taxes, isn't it? I feel like we're still getting stuff in the mail, though.
I know.
Don't you?
I do too. Yeah.
At what point am I?
We are.
It's still February, so we can wait
It's
till.
because I feel like I have 97 jobs.
We can wait till March.
So we keep getting, yeah. Anyway. All right.
Yeah. Travis Kelce, Taylor's boyfriend, as you guys know. He is apparently a big deal now. He won the People's Choice Award.
He's a big deal now. Now he's a big deal.
Well, yeah.
He's been a big deal for a little while.
He's been a big deal in Kansas City. Now he's a big deal across the country because of Tay-Tay. At any rate, Garth Brooks, did you see? You were gone for what happened. Well, I mean, there was good and bad that happened at the Chiefs victory parade. Obviously, you heard about the shooting. Which
I
was
did hear
awful.
about that. That was on international news. So I saw
that was
the headlines. Yeah,
horrific. But before that, the Chiefs were celebrating, and Kelce got on the microphone and probably had a little to drink. It seemed like
little liquid courage.
Yeah, but he he tried to sing "Friends in Low Places" uh, in front of 1 million people and did not do a good job. Didn't know the words, slurred his words. Finally, they took the mic away
Didn't
from
know
him.
the words.
He didn't know. Well, he was trying to do a verse and he got all confused. He was
I've lost all respect for the man. Who doesn't
well,
know the song? Come on.
he was lit up, so that played a factor. Anyway, I thought that was embarrassing, honestly, to
You
watch
just said lit up.
public drunkenness. I'm not a fan of.
It's called intox, public intox.
I'm not a fan of it. Anyway, so he did that, and apparently Garth Brooks saw that because the world saw it, and Garth Brooks has now invited him to the opening of Garth's new bar. Basically, it's called Friends in Low Places Bar and Honky Tonk, and on his Inside Studio G show. So he's invited Travis to come attempt to sing it there, maybe with a little less alcohol, to see if they can pull it off.
You should practice the words, practice the lyrics.
That bar, well, he'll probably have a teleprompter for that big event. The bar opens on March 7th, which is coming up. So Travis, I don't know if Travis is going to show up for that or not. I imagine he will.
I mean, come on. If Garth extends to you an invitation, you show up.
I think you're going to be
It's
there.
Garth. He's the only superstar other than Oprah who's on a first name basis. Okay, and Cher and Bono, but that's about it.
It's Garth's bar, so there's probably free drinks.
Yeah.
So that should be enticing for Kelsey.
Yeah. I mean, I know where Garth used to frequent. So.
Well, yeah, in Stillwater, he played. It was
at the Tumbleweed, at the Wormy Dog. At Georgia Stables. Eskimo Joe's, probably, I assume.
What's the street in Stillwater where all those bars are?
Perkins.
Yeah. Sarah used to go to Oklahoma State. Garth, of course, went to Oklahoma State. That's where he started playing in bars. And Sarah has probably been more than once.
There was a tree that
to those very bars.
There was a tree that said Garth loves Sandy.
Oh,
and it's still there. The tree and the carving is still there. So anyway,
well,
he doesn't love Sandy anymore.
He probably has a different kind of love for her now. She's the mother of his children.
Yes. All right. It is not too late to get your dancing shoes on. Speaking of children, tomorrow, Saturday, the park board is hosting a daddy-daughter dance. It's from 6 to 9. You can enjoy a catered dinner and music and dancing and special surprises for girls and their dad or stepdad or uncle, father figure, brother, whoever you want to take. Ages 3 years and up, $40 per couple, $15 for each additional girl. You can get registered right now at parkboard.org/events.
Good for the park board.
We love the park board. I know they're one of our sponsors. Plus, even before they were our sponsor, I'm just a fan of the park board.
We got married in a park.
Married in a park, and then everybody else followed us. Just so you know, we were the first. They didn't even have bathrooms out there yet.
It was funny. Last night, I was talking with our oldest, who's now 14, Caroline, about going to daddy-daughter dances when she was little, and she still remembers those.
Yeah, and you took Ainsley too, and you cried. I don't think either of them cried, but you certainly did.
Why would they cry? Yeah. I cried because I saw my future and how much those weddings are going to cost me. No, I cried.
I have their husbands picked out. Does that count?
Oh man, I got to show you this. This Instagram reel that popped up the other day.
Yeah.
It was this song this guy sang. He was this unassuming guy, stepped up in front of the camera and started singing this song about his daughter getting married. And I was a puddle. And then I showed it to somebody at work.
You're the sweetest.
I showed it to somebody at work and I was crying at work. It's going to be terrible.
It's going to be terrible. Jesus is coming back before that. Don't worry.
Thank you to the park board for doing that. I think it's awesome. You'll make a lot of dads and their girls will make some really cool memories.
Yeah. And you'll cry like Ethan and your girl will look at you and be like, "What's wrong, Dad?"
You're embarrassing me.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, this weekend is also the Springfield Reptile Expo, Saturday and Sunday at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds from 9 to 3:30. Organizers say, quote, "It's an exhilarating adventure into the world of scales, tails, and extraordinary creatures at the Show Me Reptile Show." Should be a good time. That is not my cup of tea, but they do have some super cool exhibits. So head out to the fairgrounds and enjoy it.
I'll have to take their word for it.
I know. I will too.
Snakes
I
creep me
mean,
out.
they are caged, so there's that.
I can't do it. I
Yeah.
bet some are out of cages around people's necks.
Yeah.
That drives me insane.
Yep.
There's also the bull riding is out at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds
Oh, good
tonight
times.
and tomorrow as well.
Yeah.
So that'll be super cool to watch the bull riders up close and personal in the new arena out there at the fairgrounds.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's it, folks. We'll
That's
see
it.
Yeah. Sorry I look like this. This is called jet lag. I'm so tired. I was wide awake though at 3:00 in the morning. I was wide awake. I was raring in, ready to go.
And now you're tired 2 hours later?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
It's just
Okay. Well,
I know.
you go
It's
back
like I
to
need to
bed.
go back to bed. I'm
'Cause
going
I gotta
to.
go to
It's gonna
I
be
gotta go to
great.
work. You gotta go to work too. All right. Have a great weekend. We will see you back here bright and early on Monday.
Bye.